Hello friends, Intuitive Rene here, bringing you yet another Friday pick a card. It's always lovely to do these. It's always lovely. I always get so excited when I have to do pick a card Friday. And I do hope that you've had a good week and hope you've arrived at Friday in a good space and having achieved a lot. It's almost like there's this, I'm going to say picking up speed kind of situation in the world at the moment. Everybody seems to be almost gaining momentum, and it's like we're building towards or working towards something big. So I hope that you have had a good week, and I hope that it's been really, really easy for you as well. For those of you who are finding my channel for the first time, extra special warm welcome to you. It's lovely to have you here, and this happens every Friday. So every Friday we do pick a card. You get to get some inspiration and some guidance for your life ahead. And the topics are always interesting. The topics are always something different, and I try and keep it exciting as well. And then Monday to Friday, or sorry, actually every day of the week, I need to correct myself. Every day of the week at 8 a.m. South African time, we have a general reading just to give you some guidance for the day ahead. So that's a lot of content that's available on this channel. And all you do with the pick a card is you decide which bundle has the reading, the message, the guidance, and the inspiration that you need in your life right now. And then you jump straight across to that one and you get the message. So today's theme is healing your past life. So we've all had past lives. Some of us remember our past lives and some of us don't. But when we talk about healing our past life, we often have these kind of conversations or these kind of thoughts where you think to yourself, is there something from my past life that I'm carrying into this present life? Is there something that I left unfinished? Something I should have done? What is the lesson? What am I bringing into this lifetime? And, am I achieving the things that I need to? You often hear people talk about past life lessons and past life karma and all of these kind of things. And that's what we want to have a look at today. It's not about doing a past life regression, because that's now a whole different ballgame. But what we're wanting to do is just want to sort of have an understanding of who and what kind of person were we in a past life, and what have we carried into this one. What is it that we need to be focusing on in this particular lifetime, so that we can process, learn the lessons, and move forward, so that we can be happier and more complete within ourselves. And that's the theme for today's pick a card. So all we do now is let me perform some magic on the screen. So now on screen in front of you is an image, a photograph of the cards that have been displayed or laid out for you, the cards that carry the messages and the readings and the guidance that is available to you. And all you have to do is do whatever you need to clear your head, to clear your heart, to just take a deep breath in and exhale it out and let out all your stresses and your worries and all your cares and anything that's on your to-do list and anything that's occupying space in your mind. Just let it all go. And just bring yourself to a calm centered space. And from that calm centered space, look at this picture and ask yourself, is it bundle one? Is it the second one? Which one is it that really seems to be drawing you in, seems to be calling you in, and seems to be the one that has the message, the reading, and the guidance that you need right now? And I'm going to say to you that if you normally, because I know we're all creatures of habit, and I know that there are some of you that always gravitate to the same ones. There are some of you that always go for the same bundle week in and week out. And I know it works. I know you generally get the message that you need. But today we're asking you to pay extra special attention and to consciously make sure that you're making the choice that's right for you. All right. So you know which one you want. You know which bundle has the message that you need. So all you're going to do now is you're going to find the timestamp below and you're going to jump straight to that one and get the reading that you need right now. And in return, all I ask from you, if you enjoy your reading, if you enjoy your message, is to give the video a thumbs up, leave me a little comment below, and possibly even invite a friend to come and watch. Send the link to a friend, invite a friend to come and watch the video to get some guidance for their lives. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Right, so we're going to jump straight into it with bundle number one. Okay, so you chose bundle one as the bundle that has the reading, the message, the guidance, and the inspiration that you need in your life right now. And today I am working with the Shadowland Tarot. I just absolutely love this deck. And I thought, because we're looking at past life stuff, because we're looking at stuff that maybe we don't want to hear, maybe we don't always, that isn't always comfortable and easy to hear, that's why I thought we need to work with the Shadowland Tarot today. And I just absolutely adore this deck. I find it quite quirky, but I find that it just makes us climb out of our comfort zone. It makes us just climb out of our familiar. And sometimes we need that, don't we? All right, so let's set the intention and let's get the reading going for all of you. So as I shuffle the cards here today, we're asking Spirit to draw near. We're asking Spirit to surround us in a band of love, light, and protection. We're asking Spirit to connect with every single one of us today on a level that is relevant and appropriate for us. We're asking that the reading be clear. We're asking that the reading be perfect. And we're asking that the reading make sense. And it helps us to heal whatever it is that needs healing in our life right now. And so it is. And so it is. Okay. So we're working with healing your past life. That is our theme for today's reading. And I have got quite a few questions written out in front of me, as always. And we're going to go through them one by one. And hopefully it brings together quite an important, significant reading for each one of you. I do have an oracle deck set aside just over here as well, which I will use at the end just to get clarifier, just to get a final message from Spirit as well. So question number one, or our first card that we're going to draw, now I'm still shuffling the cards. Who were you in your past life? Now, we're not talking about like specifically, gender, age, culture. We're not asking specifics, but we're just saying generally as a person, who were you as a person in your last life? So that is the first question that we're going to ask. The second question is, what do you still need to learn from that life? Okay, so obviously there was something that happened in that lifetime which you brought into this lifetime. What is that? What is it that you still need to learn? What is it that you still need to achieve and learn in this particular lifetime from the old one? Okay, and how does this affect you today? So how is it playing out in your life? How is it manifesting in your life right now? And then the next one is, how do we resolve it? Okay, how do we resolve it? How do we clear it? How do we learn it? How do we progress past it? And also just, what do you need to channel from your past, from this past life that we're now connecting with? What is it that you need to channel from that past life? Right, so we've got quite a few questions. I have shuffled this deck so much, my hands are going to hurt. Let's do this. I'm just going to cut the deck like that, and I'm going to draw cards straight off at the top. So I'm going to put them on the table over there. Right, so card number one. So who were you in a past life? So remember, we're not looking at physical features. We're not looking at area of the world that you came from. We're not looking at gender. We're looking at soul energy. We're looking at personality. We're looking at who were you in a past life. And the card that we've drawn, and I think it's just so beautiful and so relevant, is the Lover's card. So this is somebody who gave of themselves. Okay, so in a past life, you were somebody who gave constantly, continuously of yourself to others. You were constantly making sure that everybody was happy, that everybody had everything that they needed, that their hearts were full. So you were somebody who was constantly giving of themselves to others. I want to say unselfishly, okay, unselfishly and continuously. You were always giving, and you did it with just such openness, okay? There was no judgment, there was no anything like that. You just gave and gave and gave, and your only concern was other people's well-being and other people's happiness. I think that's just amazing. So that's the soul of who you were in a past life. The next card that we're drawing, and again straight off the top of the deck, is something that you still need to learn based on that, okay, based on the fact that you were just such a giver in the past life. What is something that you still need to learn now, even now? You've completed that life, you're already partway through this life. What is something that you still need to learn? And what we have here is card 4, which is the Emperor. Just to see if I can get it into focus. So the Emperor is, I mean, he's gorgeous, first of all. And I know not everybody likes the style of deck, but trust me, it's just making us think a little bit differently. Emperor is all about control. He's all about masculine energy. He's all about being authoritative. He's all about being in control, and he doesn't need any other validation. He's very confident of who he is. He's very confident of what he is. He knows his strengths and his weaknesses, and he uses them to achieve the things that are relevant and appropriate in his life and in the life of his people. So what is the thing that you still need to learn? You still got to learn your own worth. So in a past life, you were just giving all the time. You cared for everybody. You took care of everybody. You loved everybody. You gave of yourself constantly. And something that you still need to learn, I'm going to put it down to boundaries. I'm just going to put it down to boundaries, because that's what the Emperor is all about. Strength and determination and courage, and recognizing structure, recognizing rules, recognizing discipline. Okay, so I'm going to label it, I'm going to short form it, and I'm going to say the Emperor is telling you something you still need to learn in this lifetime. Boundaries, your worth and boundaries. I love that. And I think we all have problems with boundaries, don't we? Of course we do. I think it's human nature. All right. Oh my gosh. All right, so how does this affect you? How does this, the fact that, again, in this past life that we're now connecting with for you, in this past life, you were such a giver. You gave so freely of yourself and so willingly of yourself. And the lesson that you still need to learn, or what you still need to learn in this particular lifetime, carrying on from that, is structure and discipline and boundaries. How is this impacting on you today? How is this affecting your life today? And like I said, I think sometimes I didn't shuffle. The Hermit. So the Hermit is the card of solitude. It's the card of introspection. It's the card of recognizing or just being on your own. So the fact that in your past life you gave and gave and gave, you put everybody else's needs, wants, and desires before your own. Sorry, I just want to see if I can get it into focus. Okay. In the past life, you gave so much of yourself freely, easily, willingly. You didn't, people took advantage of you, because again, that's what the emperors come up with. Something that you still need to learn in this lifetime is to not let people take advantage of you, to stand your ground, to recognize your own strength, to recognize your own abilities and who you actually are. And how is this affecting you in this lifetime? Well, you may find yourself not having as many friends as you would like, not connecting with people very easily. You may find yourself being alone a lot. You may find yourself living a life of solitude. You may be surrounded by lots of people, but you may be the loneliest person in the room, okay? Because that's what the Hermit is. The Hermit is about solitude. The Hermit is about walking this journey on your own. The Hermit is about recognizing that nobody's going to be there for you, that you have to do this by yourself, for yourself, and with yourself, okay? So that is how this past life and the lessons from the past life are impacting on you at the moment in this lifetime. The next question that we're asking is, how do we fix it? How do we learn the boundaries? How do we put these things in place? How do we make it all better? How do we stop giving of ourselves so much that we are negatively impacted? How do we resolve this? Because it's I want to say it's in your nature. It's because it's come from a past life, and because it's what you're impacted by in this lifetime now, because it's who you are now and what you're going through now. It's really difficult to go through it. It's very difficult to resolve it. It's very difficult to overcome it. So question 4 is, how do we resolve it? How do we move past it? And again, I swear I didn't shuffle the cards. We have another major arcana that's come through, and it's card 17, which is the Star. And the Star, you can see the huge big star at the top there, but this is the card of renewal. This is the card of hope. This is the card of believing in positives. This is the card that says, do you know what? Everything's going to be okay. But you've got to believe that. You've got to believe it with every ounce of your being. And if you believe with every ounce of your being that you are a good person and that you are doing good and that people love you and people like you, then you're not going to be so on your own anymore. You're not going to suffer from the solitude so much. And even if you do, even if this is a conscious choice that you've made to be on your own and to not surround yourself with huge crowds of people, but rather a select few, then that's okay. Then you need to know that that's okay, because that's what the Star card is. The Star card is telling you that renewal and hope for a better tomorrow and recognizing who you are. So when we look at this, okay, so you and your past life, you were just a giver. You just gave constantly, continuously, until you literally had nothing left to give, okay? Something that you still need to learn is boundaries and your own significance and how important and amazing and wonderful you are. How this affects you today? Well, maybe you find yourself a little bit lonely. Maybe you find yourself not having as many friends and whatever companions around you as you would like. And how to resolve it? Well, just to hang on to hope and to hang on to the fact that you are a good person and that you have done good in this world, to the people around you, to complete strangers. You are always still doing good work. But it's about recognizing that you need to take care of yourself first. And by taking care of yourself first and putting everybody else second is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing, because that's what the Star card says. It says take care of you first. Once you've taken care of you. So it's almost, I want to say it's the opposite of the Lovers card. So the Star card is saying to you, take care of you first. Lovers is saying you were giving and giving and giving and taking care of everybody else. But now actually what's important is that you take care of you first. And there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. All right. And I swear I didn't shuffle these cards, but you saw me shuffling. All right, so the final question that we have with healing your past life. So we've looked at who you were. We looked at what that meant, what you're dealing with, how to overcome it, how to resolve it in this lifetime. So my final question, or my final card that I'm looking at for you today, is what you need to channel from your past life. So what aspect of who you were then, what aspect of that person do we need to bring into the present? What aspect of that do we need to bring into the current? And how do we bring it into our lives? And the card that I've drawn is another Major Arcana card. It's like, you know, I swear I didn't shuffle, but I did. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is the card of karma. Okay, it's about understanding you reap what you sow. It's the card of karma, or the card of fate. It says, you know, that sometimes the wheel just turns, and you have to just accept that. And if you do good, you get good. If you do bad, you get bad. And there's nothing that you can do to change it. That is the law of the universe. That is just the way that it is. But the Wheel of Fortune is also saying that recognize that when good things happen to you, when good things come to you, recognize it's because you deserve it. And I think when we have hermit mind, when we have the solitude and we're okay in our own space and we're okay on our own and we don't really need anybody else, when good things happen to us, we've got nobody to share it with. But also then often when good things happen to us, we dismiss it because we don't have anybody to validate and we don't have anybody to toot our horn, so to speak. So we tend to dismiss all the good stuff. And the fact that we have the Star card is telling you that we need to hope for a better future. We need to recognize our own significance. We need to recognize that things are going to turn and things are going to improve quite dramatically for you. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it's basically, the Wheel of Fortune is basically saying to you that the wheel turns, the karmic wheel turns. And you did so much good in a past life. Being that giver, being that lover, being that person that's always considering and thinking about everybody else. You've done so much good in a past life that in this life you deserve the rewards. But you need to open the door to the rewards, because that's what I'm getting from this, is you need to open the door to the rewards. The good is coming. There's so much positivity coming your way, but it's almost like you're not seeing it. You're so like, I'm just going to be on my, no, wrong card. Sorry, I wanted to hold up this one. You want to be on your own. You want to be independent. You want to be self-sufficient. You want to be focused on, I don't need anybody else. I'm going to be independent and I'm going to be strong. Remember, something that you still need to learn is boundaries. And understanding the boundaries, what we do is, instead of putting boundaries in place, we just retreat and run away and hide and pretend like nobody else is around. And you know what? It's better to just not have to put boundaries in place than actually have to put the boundaries in place. And again, what to channel from your past is to recognize that this is all, there is so much good that needs to come to you. There's so much positive, there's so much success and happiness that needs to come to you. But if you are hiding from the world, it can't. Okay, so what to channel from your past life is that you did good in a past life. You were a good person in every sense of the word. You gave openly, honestly, easily, and therefore the rewards that are coming to you are rewards that you deserve. So open the door and let them in. All right, so I'm going to leave that on the table here in front of me as well. I'm now picking up an oracle deck, and this week I want to work with the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards by Kyle Gray. It's just such an awesome deck. So let's see what message the ancestors, because we're talking about past life stuff, it just made sense that we look at ancestors and we use ancestral energy to come through. So we're asking the angels and the ancestors just to clarify the message, just to confirm everything that we've covered already, that the message is valid, that the message is correct, and that the message is sound, and that you've understood it the way that it needs to. So anything else that the angels and the ancestors want to contribute to the message, anything else that they want to say, anything else that's relevant and important, let's see what we get. Taking that card over there. So we have got the shaman coming through, the shaman coming through. I love these cards, the imagery. I just want to get it into focus for you. So let's just get the camera to focus. First of all, there we go. Look at the artwork. Isn't it just exquisite? The detail is just absolutely amazing. And the message at the bottom is to trust in higher forces. And I absolutely love that. What are the higher forces that you need to trust? Well, it's whatever your God is, God of your choosing. but it's also trusting in your past, trusting in your past life, trusting in who you were in that past, and trusting in the wheel of fortune, trusting in the karma, in the karmic wheel that is turning, and understanding that what's coming to you now is God, is good, is positive, it's wonderful, and it's amazing. But you need to trust in the higher forces, whatever those higher forces are for you, whoever those higher forces may be for you. Trust in them and allow them to bring good. So when somebody offers you a gift, when somebody brings something and says, "Yeah, I was thinking about you, have this," don't say no. Don't say, "Oh no, it's fine, I don't need that." Say yes, please, and thank you. Okay? Learn. Normally, normally you're being told, say no, say no, say no. And this time around, I know we were talking about boundaries. Okay? I know we were saying that this is the lesson that you need to learn in this lifetime, but you're doing the complete opposite. Okay? You've gone completely the other way. So yes, we do need to learn those boundaries, and it is so important that we do learn those boundaries. But at the same time, if somebody's offering you a gift that can help you in this lifetime, this is when Spirit is saying, trust in the higher forces and say yes, please, and thank you. If somebody makes you an offer of something lovely, just say yes, please, and thank you. Because you deserve it. Because you've done well. Remember, you've given so much of yourself in the past. Let the ancestors pay you back now. All right. So friends, with love and blessings from my heart to yours, thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you, and I do hope that it makes sense to you. I do hope that it resonates with you, and I do hope to connect with your energy again soon. So from my heart to yours, until we connect again, take care. Hello and welcome to each one of you who chose bundle 2 as the bundle that has the message, the reading, the guidance, and the inspiration that you need in your life today. Welcome. So today we're looking at healing your past life. And because we're doing past life, almost shadow type work, I had to use my Shadowland Tarot. I just love this deck. It is just awesome. It's not everybody's cup of tea. The imagery can be a little bit weird and a little bit strange and a little bit peculiar, but sometimes that's exactly what we need, and today's definitely such a day. I do have an oracle deck on the table as well, which we'll be looking at just now, but before we get into oracle decks, let's focus on what we're here for today. So today's theme for our Friday pick a card is healing your past life. And I've got quite a few questions written out that I want to go through, that I want to take us through. And it's not about doing the past life regression, because that's now a whole nother ball game. That's now a whole nother situation. What this is really just understanding an aspect of who you were in a past life and how that impacts on life today, and how can you use that to your advantage for you to be a better person, because that's what I'm all about, is to help each one of you be better versions of yourself. And you know what, sometimes we have to look back at past lives in order to do that. So I am shuffling the cards, and as I shuffle the cards, let's set the intention and let's call Spirit in. So as I shuffle the cards here today, we're asking Spirit to connect with every single one of us. We're asking Spirit to surround us in a band of love, life, and love, light, and protection. I'll get the words right eventually. We're asking Spirit to guide the reading, and we're asking that the cards that we draw be the cards that we need to give us the understanding and the clarity, the motivation, and the inspiration that we need in our lives right now. And so it is. And so it is. So as I continue to shuffle the cards, I want to just take you through the questions that I have laid out here in front of me. So the first thing we're going to have a look at is who you were in a past life, but not who you were in the sense of male, female, from this country and looked like that. And no, we're not worried about those kind of things, because that type of stuff I almost want to say is irrelevant to this particular situation. We want to know, who were you as an individual? Who were you? What was the essence of your soul? Okay, so what kind of a person were you? All right, so that's what we're going to look at. Who were you in a past life? We're then going to look at something that you still need to learn from that lifetime. Okay, so obviously there is something from that lifetime which has come into this lifetime. And what is this lesson that we need to learn? What is this unfinished situation from past life that we've carried into this current life that we need to process, that we need to learn? So something that you still need to learn from a past lifetime. And then we're going to look at how this impacts on you today. Okay, so how is this revealing itself or showing itself or impacting on your life today? So that's the next card that we're going to do, and then how to resolve it. So how to process it, how to deal with it, how to understand it, how to do the work. And then finally, what it is that you need to channel from that past life into this present life. So what is it, what aspects of yourself from that past life do we need to carry and bring into this current one? What aspect of yourself do you need to channel into this lifetime? So some very interesting questions. And then once we're done with all of that, we'll use the Oracle card just to get a clarify, just to get a confirmation message from Spirit. So I have shuffled this deck so much today, and I think we are done shuffling. Let's put them together. I'm going to cut the deck over there, and we're going to draw cards straight off the top. I'm going to just leave them on the table here in front of me. So the first card that we are drawing is the card that reveals, or that tells us about who you were in a past life. And as I said earlier on, it's not about your appearance. It's not about the actual person that you were. It's not about what country you were from, what nationality or culture you were. None of that is what we're focusing on. What we're looking at today is the essence of your soul. So who were you? What kind of an individual, what kind of a person were you in a past life? And I know this deck is a little bit quirky, okay, so you've got to just bear with me. All right, so we have the Knight of Cups, and I mean, just look at it. Isn't she gorgeous? She's a nice fat mermaid. I just love it. She's got her cup of love over there, and she's got her starfish friend with her as well. But basically, what Knight of Cups is about showing emotion. Knight of Cups is about being romantic. Knight of Cups is about doing big deeds. You know, the fact that she's a fat mermaid, she does everything to the max. It's interesting, the first thing I saw was a fat mermaid. I don't think I've ever noticed before that she's a fat mermaid. But look, she's got like the little red bow in her hair, you know, so she's very flamboyant. She's very out there. She is just loving everybody. She's making sure, you know, if she does something, she does it to the max. So this is who you were. You were somebody who was incredibly passionate about whatever your cause was, whatever your career path was, whatever your situation was. You were incredibly passionate, because that's what the Knight of Cups is. The Knight of Cups is about passion. It's about being passionate. It's about doing everything to the max with wholehearted effort and everything. There were no half measures in this particular person. Okay, so who were you in a past life? You were somebody who did things extravagantly. You were a little bit over the top. You were a little bit excessive, okay, in everything that you did. So if you did bad, you did a lot of bad. If you did good, you did a lot of good, and big flamboyant gestures and all this kind of thing. So you would have been the kind of person that everybody saw you coming like, oh my gosh, that one's coming again, because you were just a little bit too much. I love it. It must have been me. This must be me, because I think I've always been just a little bit too much. I love it. Okay, so that's who you were in a past life. What is a lesson that you still need to learn from that past life? So being that kind of personality, I mean, you're getting an image in your mind of what kind of personality, what kind of person you were. So based on that, what is something that you still need to learn in this lifetime? What is something that you've carried through or carried over from that past life into this one that you still need to learn? And the card that we've drawn here is the Ace of Pentacles. And I love that we've got this really big hand holding this disc. And, you know, and the disc is as big as the hand. You know, the piece of money is as big as the hand. Ace of Pentacles is about new financial beginnings. The Ace of Pentacles talks about new ventures and starting things that are going to be successful. But it's that new, fresh, bright energy of it. The other thing that I want to show you here on this card is if I get my hands right, is this little character down the bottom here. And it's the perspectives, okay? So the opportunity is huge and big, and I'm going to call it exaggerated. Let's go back to our fat mermaid. Exaggerated, okay? Who were you in a past life? You were somebody who did everything bigger than anybody else. So what is the lesson? Something that you still need to learn, something that you've brought into this lifetime from a past one. Well, it's about not only starting something, but it's about sustaining it and carrying it through. It's about having those big dreams, and it's about having those big ideas and those big concepts and the big dreams and so forth. But it's also about the follow through, because the Ace of Pentacles is that vibrant, fresh, dynamic energy that minute before you start something, okay? But it's also saying to you that we have to sustain. So the lesson for you in this lifetime that you've carried over from the past one is not just about the start. It's not just about the ideas and the strategies and the excitement, but it's about the follow through. And it's about keeping everything balanced, keeping everything in perspective, and keeping everything. I'm really wanting to use the word real. I'm hesitating to use the word real, but being realistic, okay? And making sure that our dreams are in line with our reality. Okay, because the dreams are really big and the reality is actually pretty small. Okay, so in the past life you did everything in excess, and that's not always bad. Okay, please don't take this as negative, because sometimes doing something in excess is a positive, and it could have huge positive implications. All right, but the thing that you need to learn, what you've carried from that lifetime into this one, is just about recognizing reality, restrictions, limitations, recognizing our dreams and how big and flamboyant and beautiful they are, and just sort of dropping the one and raising the other just to bring that balance. But it's also about the perseverance and not giving up too early. Okay, so that's the lesson that you've brought through into this lifetime. I think this is getting quite exciting. And how does this affect you? How does this affect you in this lifetime? So this energy, this lesson, this extravagance that you've brought through, and this trying to find the follow through and the balance and the reality and all of these kind of things, how is this impacting on your human existence now? How is it impacting on your life here and now? And the card that we've drawn for you here is the card of the moon. And the moon, well, I love the yellow brick road that they have to walk, but it's saying to you that it's a long road. You're not close to your destination yet. There's still a long ways to go, but we have to face our fears first. Okay, so the moon is the card of understanding things that are not always seen, not always understood, not always comprehended. My English is terrible. But it's also about facing your fears. It's about looking into the shadows, looking into the dark side, and facing the fears that are sitting there, and recognizing the fears that are there and overcoming them. Because you know what, this is a show. Okay, when we are so extravagant and when we are so over the top and when we are so uh, um, exaggerated in our personality, in our needs, wants, and desires, and the way that we do it, it's almost hiding a vulnerability, isn't it? It's almost like it's a way of hiding the truth. So people don't see our fears and don't see our vulnerabilities and don't see our little scared self. And yes, the lesson in your life now is to recognize truth from reality. Truth from reality. No, let me get that right. Is recognizing the truth from your imaginations and things like that, that type of thing. You know what I mean. And with the moon card, it's saying that, you know what, how is this affecting you today? You may have many fears in life today. You may be fearing, and it's not so much fearing failure as it's fearing people's reactions to you. Okay, so you will always respond and react and behave in a way so that people around you like you, so that people around you include you, welcome you, want you, and sort of invite you in. You will always make sure that whatever you do is to be included. Your fear is being excluded, and that is the thing that you want to avoid. So how is this extravagant personality from a past life impacting on your life today, about you being so afraid of being excluded, so afraid of being left out, so afraid of being that person? So you will always do whatever you can to make sure that everybody around you likes you, that everybody around you wants you there and includes you in activities and adventures. All right. How do we resolve this? Because obviously this is not, I want to say this is not a valid fear. This is not a valid concern for you to have. You need to try and work through that. So how do we heal? How do we resolve this? How do we fix this element, this energy from a past life that we've brought into our current space? And this card that we have here is the beautiful and the awesome and the fabulous Three of Cups. I love it. I just absolutely love it. What is the Three of Cups? What do we see on this particular card? It's three women, it's three people, it's three things, fishies, coming together, sharing happiness, sharing joy, just celebrating life together. They're drinking a cuppa of something. We can put wine in the cup, we can put tea in the cup, we can put whatever we want in the cup, milkshakes, whatever we feel like. But they are connecting and they are enjoying the drink together. They are enjoying times together. They are happy and content in their current reality, and they are just celebrating life. So how do you overcome? How do you resolve? How do you fix the fears that you've brought into this lifetime from a past lifetime by just connecting with people and letting people sing your praises, letting people tell you how wonderful you are, letting people tell you how much they love and adore you. Listen to when people say, oh my gosh, I love it when you hear things are just blah, 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 blah. When somebody says something like that, take it to heart. Take it to heart, because that's how you overcome this need to be exaggerated, this need to be more than, this need to be so flamboyant and extravagant that you've brought from a past life into this current one. Remember, something that you still need to learn. We have the Ace of Pentacles. It's about, just connecting or balancing reality with fantasy land, okay? And understanding that yes, you can do big things, you can achieve great things, but you don't have to do it all at once. And just making sure that your reality is real to the mindset that you have, and how this affects you now, that you're so afraid of not being included. You're so afraid of so many things. And the best way to overcome those fears is to just celebrate life, participate and connect with the people who mean the most to you, and listen to the good words that they say. Listen to the compliments that they give you. Listen to the fact that they keep saying, you know what, we can't do this until we've included you. We need you to come in and join us. And they sort of call you in the whole time. Connect with. No more staying at home on your own. Connect with your friends. And if your friends aren't inviting you to their place, invite them to yours, because maybe they're waiting for you to open the door first. Okay. And then finally, our final card. What do you need to channel from your past life? What do you like? What is I'm going to call it, what is the energy of this past life that you need to carry into this world? And before I reveal this card, I want to just come back to our fat. I mustn't call her fat, must I? I mean, I'm a fat person myself. I'm not afraid to admit that. But we don't body shame. She's voluptuous. Let's use that word. So I want to just bring my voluptuous mermaid back into the picture. And look at her. I mean, she's got a pretty necklace on. She's got a pretty bow in her hair. She has dressed in her best attire. She's looking and feeling absolutely fabulous. Nobody's going to put her down, okay? And you know what? She knows that in a past life she had to be bigger than life. She had to be larger than life in order for people to notice her, in order for people to recognize her and to see her. Because let's be honest again, going back to our fears, whoopsie, wrong card. Going back to our fears are not being seen. So in order to make sure that we are seen, we needed to be larger than life. So again, going back to our final card that I haven't revealed to you yet, I'm just putting all my others straight here because they're falling all over the place. What do you need to channel from your past life? So what is the thing that we need to understand from our past life that we need to bring into this life? And the card is this one. I'm covering the name of the card on purpose because people always panic when they see the name. This is the card of death. But what is death? Death has changed. So I really want you to see this card. Okay, so we have this bird, and on his head is a nest of eggs. One egg has cracked and broken. You can see there's the other half of the shell, and in his hands he very gently holds the other half of the shell, and inside there you are, and you have hatched from that egg. So was he expecting it to be a little person in a red jacket? No, he was expecting something completely different. But it's about the hatching. It's about the coming out as yourself. It's about revealing who you truly are. Death card is the card of transformation. So what does death means? Well, when he was just an egg, that's what he was. His reality, his identity, his form was egg. Now that the egg is cracked, and now that his egg has hatched, he is now person. I used to be an egg, now I'm a person. I had to die as an egg in order to become a person. So that's what the death card is. It's about that transformation. It's about that shift and that change. And I think this is exactly what you need to. You need to recognize that you don't have to be larger than life. You don't have to be exaggerated. You don't have to be all that there is in this lifetime in order to be happy and successful. It's about, so what do you need to channel from that past life is the fact that, you know what, it's about finding that balance. Where's my card of balance? There it is. Ace of Pentacles is about understanding the significance of finances, The Ace of Pentacles is about new financial beginnings. It's about starting off projects. But remember, we're saying we've got to keep our projects real. We've got to make sure that the dream that we're chasing is actually attainable, that it is actually doable, that it is actually functional. Whereas before, you didn't think about that. In a past life, you didn't think about that. So in this life, what you need to channel from your past life is learning the lessons, understanding the lessons, processing the lessons, and then allowing yourself to be different. Don't, again with this card, it's telling you don't feel like you have to conform the whole time. She did. She felt like she had to conform. She felt like everybody was expecting her to be a mermaid, so she had to be a mermaid. She didn't want to be a mermaid. She wanted to be a princess, but she had to be the mermaid. And this is Spirit saying to you, you don't have to be all of that. Be who you are. Be comfortable with who you are and reveal yourself for who you are, because who you are is amazing. Who you are is fabulous. Who you are is absolutely amazing. All right, so I'm going to leave that on the table. The Oracle deck that I'm working with today is The Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. Such an awesome deck. And because we're doing past life work, I just thought it's appropriate to bring ancestors and angels into it. So as I shuffle the cards now, we're asking our ancestors and our angels, what else do they need us to know? Can they just give us a confirmation and clarifier of the message that we have spoken of today, so that we know that we have understood the message as the message was supposed to be given? So just a message from our angels and our ancestors, just confirming that we have got the message that we needed to get. And we're taking this card over here. So the card that I've drawn for you here from the angels and ancestors is the High Priestess. And the message at the bottom, if I can just get it into focus, is harness mystic power. I love that. Harness, oh my gosh, I have been talking too much. Harness mystic power. And I think, you know what, the mystic power is the power within you. Sorry, I see now we're not in focus again. Okay, so harness mystic power. I love the black cat with the earring. Everything is so beautiful in this particular deck. The card is just exquisite. Sorry, I see I've broken it. It doesn't want to focus. There we go, it's back. So harness mystic power is basically saying to you that you can be the mermaid if you want to be the mermaid. But remember, the card of the moment, the card of, and I've lost it here, the card for you here is the death card. It's about that revealing your true self. It's about being confident enough to reveal the state change, the form change from who you were to who you are. And who you are is amazing. But harness mystic power. Recognize that you have this power within you. There is no need to fear. There is no need to be vulnerable. There is no need to worry about whether people will accept you, whether people will like you. People will, because you've got such a strong magnetism about you. You've got such a strong energy about you. Don't let fear stop you from connecting with and being with other people. Just be the change that you are, and be forever changing of yourself. Don't accept this form that you adopted in a past life and think that's the only thing that you are. You are so much more than that. And that's exactly what a high priestess is saying. High priestess is about inner knowing, about inner power, and understanding and using that power to help you continually improve and advance yourself. All right, so friends, I do hope that there was something in that reading that sort of just connected to your heart and soul and gave you just a little bit of understanding of what you've brought in from a past life and how to heal it and how to let it go. Wishing you so much love, wishing you so much happiness in your life, because you do deserve it and you truly are special. Until we connect again, from my heart to yours, take care. Hello and welcome to those of you who chose bundle 3 as the bundle that has the reading, the message, the guidance, and the inspiration that you need in your life right now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today we are looking at healing your past life, and to do that I am working with the Shadowland Tarot. It is just such an awesome deck. Its images are not always liked by everybody, but it sort of makes us just look at things a bit differently, and that's exactly what I wanted today. Because when we're healing our past life, we are doing a little bit of shadow work. We are looking at parts of ourselves that maybe are not all that comfortable, maybe not all that great. So to do that, sometimes I feel like we need a deck that sort of prompts prompts a little bit of like ew, a little bit of look at things twice. So that's why I have chosen to work with the Shadowland Tarot, and I do just love this deck. So we are looking at healing your past life, okay? So let's just set the intention. Let's just call Spirit in before we carry on explaining about healing your past life. So friends, as I shuffle these cards today, we're asking Spirit to draw near. We're asking Spirit to surround every single one of us in a band of love, light, and protection. We're asking Spirit to guide the messages and the reading today. We're asking that the cards that we draw be the cards that we need, that give us a clear message, a message of understanding, a message of clarity, and a message of hope in whatever it is that we need to hear today, especially dealing with healing our past life. And so it is. And so it is. All right. So I'm going to continue to shuffle the cards as I explain about this spread that we're doing today. So as I said, the theme is healing your past life. And I've got quite a few questions that I've got written out on the table here in front of me. So the first card that we're going to draw is going to be to explain and to show us who you were in a past life. And I don't mean from a sense of male, female, from which country, from which nationality. No. We're not dealing with that kind of stuff. We're talking about the essence of who you were. What kind of a personality, what kind of a soul, what kind of a life, what kind of an individual were you in a past life? So that's what we're going to be looking at. That's what we're going to be asking. So who were you? What kind of a person were you in a past life? And then obviously, you know, the past life that we are talking about and the kind of person you were in a past life, what do you still need to heal or learn from that lifetime? So what is something that you still need to learn from that lifetime that you've brought into this lifetime? Okay, that's going to be our second card that we draw. So something that you still need to learn that you've brought from a past lifetime. And then how this affects you today. So understanding, all right, that I need to learn that, but how is that manifesting? How is that affecting you today? How is that showing itself in your current reality? Okay, and then we're going to look at how to fix it, how to learn the lesson, how to achieve it, how to resolve it, how to learn everything that we needed to do. And then finally, just something that you need to channel from that same past life. Something that you need to channel and bring into your current reality from a past life. So quite a few questions and some really interesting ones. I'm going to now stop shuffling because my hands are throbbing. I've been shuffling and shuffling and shuffling and shuffling. So shuffling the cards, let's put them together. I'm going to cut the deck over there, and I'm now going to draw cards straight off the top to get our messages. Right. So as I said to you, who were you in a past life? So this has got nothing to do with what kind of human you were, whether you were male or female, masculine or feminine, whether you had this color hair or that body shape. We're not talking about the physical. We're not talking about location. We're not talking about the physical. We're talking about essence. Okay? We're talking about the essence, the soul essence of who you were in a past life. And the card that I have drawn for you here is the Eight of Swords. So Eight of Swords is an interesting card, and it's one that most people shy away from. It's one that most people like, I don't want the Eight of Swords, because it's often depicted in a negative sense. So if you have a look at this particular image, we've got a bird who is blindfolded and bound, and they're standing in their beautiful red boots. First of all, just notice the red boots. And they're surrounded by a bunch of feathers. Okay, and it's almost like those feathers are trapping them and keeping them stuck, keeping them captive. All right, and a lot of people understand or think that the Eight of Swords is keeping you trapped, the feeling of being trapped, the feeling of being caged, the feeling of being housed and you know, kept away from, because here's home, here's town, here's everything else far, far away. But actually the reality is of the Eight of Swords, it's all about the mindset. It is about feeling like you have no choice, feeling like you know, are trapped and stuck and confined and all of these things. But the reality is, it's all in the mind. With the Eight of Swords, it's about that feeling of like, I have no choice, you know, my will has been taken away from me, I'm stuck here against my will, life is bad, life is hard. But actually, they're feathers that are standing around you in this particular case. They're just feathers, you know, easy, blow them down, move on. But it's the mindset, okay? It is the mindset. So in answer to the question of who were you in the past life, you were maybe somebody who always felt a little bit insecure, somebody who always felt not strong enough, somebody who always felt like they didn't have options and choices. So we're going to say that you were somebody who always felt weak, somebody who always felt incapable of doing anything. All right, that is who you were, as the essence of who you were in a past life. I'm going to leave that on the table. We're going to come back to it a lot more. Something that you still need to learn from that. So we understand that's who you were. It's not who you are now. Okay, don't misunderstand us. It's not who you are now, but what aspect or what essence or what element of that person in that lifetime have you brought into? So what is something that you still need to learn that you never finished in that lifetime and that you've brought into this one? And the card that we've drawn for that is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups, Cups has got to do with emotions. Cups has got to do with your feelings and emotions. And the King is about being in control and being strong and brave and courageous and domineering almost, okay? And what I like, I mean, I know that the image is a little bit weird, but that's what I like about this particular deck. The fact that it makes you look at it and go like, what? And that's exactly what we need, okay? So in this particular case with the King of Cups, something that you still need to learn is you've still got to learn how to take control of your emotions. Because King is about strong control, dominance, all of those kind of things in the field of emotions. So something that you've brought because you never felt strong enough, you never felt good enough, you never felt like you were able to, you never felt like you were capable. So in a past life, and you lived and died that way. And in the lifetime you are in now, something that you still need to learn, something that you've brought from that lifetime into this one is about taking control of your emotions, taking control of your feelings, taking control of your emotions and being okay with them. Okay? And being okay with it, understanding the emotions, understanding feelings, understanding all of those kind of complex things and being okay with them. All right? That is what you still need to learn in this lifetime from that past lifetime. Okay. How this affects you today. All right. How is this playing out in your life? How is this impacting on you today? How is this affecting you today? And I love it. We have got the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles, Pentacles has got to do with material possessions. Pentacles has got to do with our finances and our material, our stuff, our tangible stuff. And night action or night energy is very fast, it's very swift, it's very brave and courageous, but knights also don't often think. They just act and think later. All right, we carry out the action now and we worry about the consequences of it at a later stage. So you might be somebody who, when it comes to, look at his huge big bag of money. Let me just see if I can get it into focus. There we go. Can you see he's riding his snail? His snail is not very effective because obviously snails can be a little bit slow. They're not very quick, but he's got his huge big bag of money and he's holding his bag of money up quite bravely and quite confidently, and he's feeling quite confident in himself with this huge big bag of money. So you may be, and this is going to be, this is where we start looking at the real truth, okay? You may be somebody who felt insignificant in a past life, who felt like you didn't have choice, you didn't have options, like, you know, you were always the victim, if I can call it that. Actually, I think that's a really good word to use. You were very much a victim in a past life and you felt insignificant and you didn't feel like you were all that you needed to be. The lesson that you still need to learn is to recognize your own strength, to recognize your own power, to recognize your own emotional state, and to recognize how strong you truly are emotionally, okay? And how this affects you now is that you may be buying people's love and affection. That's what I'm getting from this Knight of Pentacles, is that you're so focused on material possessions. You're so focused on accumulation. You're so focused on thinking that people will only love you. People will only like you if you have and if you share and if you give money, finances, material possessions. So you may be somebody who is just giving and giving and giving all the time when it comes to that side of things, because you feel that it's the only way to buy love. It's the only way that people will like you. It's the only way that you can have some kind of control and dominion over other people, is if you are giving and giving and giving all the time. We're not saying that that's wrong, but what we're saying is that this is how a past life is manifesting in your life today. You may have already overcome this. You may have already worked through this. Maybe, but maybe it's still something that you need to ponder. Maybe it's still something that you need to think about. Okay. Card number four, how to resolve this. So if you haven't already worked through this, if this is still something that is actively playing out in your life, if this is still something that you are actively processing, in this lifetime, right here and right now. How do we resolve it? How do we make it better? How do we overcome this need to buy people's love and affection? And I love this. We get the Lover's card. The Lover's card is just about giving of yourself unconditionally. So it's giving of yourself, not of your stuff. Okay? Spend quality time with people. Let people actually get to know the real you. Show your true self. Reveal your true self. Don't hide behind a gift. Don't hide behind a note. Don't hide behind a thing. Just be you. But connect on a heart level. Connect on an emotional, where's my King of Cups? Connect on an emotional level with people. Let people see you for who you are. Don't feel that people aren't going to think you're worthy. Don't let this insecurity, don't let these fears, don't let this mindset from a past life impact negatively now. Recognize that, you know what? I need to recognize that I am significant. I need to recognize that I am worthy of unconditional love, worthy of happiness, above all else, happiness. Because that is something that you're still needing to learn. And not always give so much of myself to other people. Don't think I need to use my bag of money. You know what? You may have a huge big bag of money, and it's fabulous if you do. And even if you've got a small bag of money, stop giving it away. Stop giving it away. Stop thinking that if you don't give, people aren't going to love you. People are going to love you. All right? How to resolve it is to just be yourself. Just be of yourself. Connect with people. Share with people. Let people see who you truly are. Be unconditional with your love, not with your stuff. I like that. I like that. Right. This is a very interesting one. Okay, so our final card in our reading today is how do we channel? Like, what do you need to channel? Not how, sorry. What do we need to channel from your past life? So, understanding the kind of person you were in the past and who you are today, and how do we channel some of that energy into our current space? What do we need to channel from our past into our current reality? And I love this. We have got card 0 in the tarot, which is the card of the Fool. And in this particular deck, it's called the Seeker. And the Seeker is about embarking on a new journey, embarking on a new reality, embarking on a new experience without judgment, without expectation, and without too much structure, without too many rules, and without too much structure. And this is what you need to be focusing on. So what do you need to channel? So we went from being restricted and being limited in our minds, in our realities, and in our physical, to being completely free and wild, to go and to do and to feel. I love that. So we're going from a mindset and a reality of restriction, of limitations. You know, there's many things that this Eight of Swords could be in a past life. Not only were you a victim, but you may have had a disability. You may have had any kind of restriction, physical restriction in your life, and you didn't know how to fix it. You didn't know how to get past it. You didn't know how to get away from it. And in your reality now, whether you do or don't, whatever your reality is right now, whatever your life is that you're having right now, it's important that you recognize that the freedom that you have, the freedom, and this is what you need to channel. Previously, I didn't have freedom. Previously, I felt trapped. I was stuck. I was caged. I was blocked. I was whatever. But now I'm not. Now I'm not. Now I'm free. I can go anywhere. I can experience anything. I can do anything. And I must not worry about other people's opinions. I must stop giving so much of myself to other people. I must recognize my freedom. I must recognize my value, my worth, and the fact that I deserve happiness. People are going to love you for who you are. And the only way that they're going to love you for who you are is if you connect with them on a heart level, connect with them on a heart space, and just be you. People don't have expectations of you except they want to spend time with you. They want to love you. They want to know you. So let them. All right. Before we finish off, I am working with an oracle deck today, which is the Angels and Ancestors Oracle Guide by Kyle Gray. I love this deck. I thought because we're doing past life kind of stuff, I thought it was important that we sort of invite and welcome in our angels and our ancestors. you know, because they were with us in a past life and they're with us now. So let's shuffle and just ask our angels and ask our ancestors, what else do we need to know? Did we get the whole message? Did we get everything we needed to know today? Is there anything else that they want to add? Is there anything else that they want us to know? Anything else that is important and significant for us to know right here and right now? Message from our angels and our ancestors with regards to healing our past life, moving past that and fixing or just dealing with life in a different way right here and now. Okay, let's see. Just going to get one card, and I'm going to take that one over there. So the card that I have chosen from the Angels and Ancestors deck is the card of Arrow, and I love how the arrow is shooting straight up, aiming straight up. We're not looking at these arrows here, we're looking at this big one over there. And the message at the bottom, let me just see if I can get it into focus on the camera. The arrow says, surround yourself with protective energy. I love that. Surround yourself with protective energy. Okay. And what is the protective energy? It's understanding that these feathers that you thought were trapping you previously, these feathers that you thought were caging you, limiting you, and restricting you, were actually protecting you. I want you to see that. So those feathers, they're not keeping our birdie in her little red boots. They're not preventing her and stopping her. They're keeping her safe. They're keeping outsiders out and allowing her to be safe on the inside. And that is what this card is meaning. This is what the angels and ancestors are saying to you. They're saying to you, surround yourself with protective energy. So as long as you are constantly being honest and real with yourself with regards to protecting your own energy. Where's my Knight of Pentacles? Stop giving your energy away. Stop giving your stuff away. Stop giving of yourself all the time unnecessarily. Recognize that people need to love you for who you are. Where's my Lover's card? We're going to find it. I've got a mess here now. People need to love you for who you are. People need to accept you for who you are, because who you are is amazing. Who you are is significant. Who you are matters, okay? And you don't have to pay for that. You don't have to be giving of that. You don't have to be putting your hand out and saying, give, 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 give. Or you don't need to be doing that. You don't need to be that person. People need to love you for who you are, see you for who you are, and accept you for who you are, because who you are is important. So, friends, with love and blessings from my heart to yours, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that there was something in that reading that just connects with your heart and soul and just gives you a little bit of truth, a little bit of understanding, a little bit of guidance in your life today. I do hope that you got that. So with love and blessings from my heart to yours, until we connect again, take care.